All right, everybody. Bro-Grad's back with you, and today we're going to be changing the oil on a 2009 Toyota Camry. You know the rule. Can't afford not to. So I'm going to show you how it's done. So one of the first things you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get this car off the ground. I'm going to do so with these ramps, and then I'm going to put stops behind the back tires. I'm also going to put the parking brake on. You can use the jack from the car, but ramps are going to make your life a lot easier. You need to get under this thing. So here we are. Car up on the ramps. Back tire, both sides. We got a block on it. Now we're going to open up the hood. If you haven't done so, it's this lever right here. You just heard it pop. And then there's a latch that you need to push right here. There you go. All right, this car's hydraulics are absolutely destroyed. So I propped it up with a piece of wood. But this is where the oil goes. We're gonna completely open that to allow airflow when we're draining. Just set that aside. And then here is your dipstick. Go ahead and pull that out a little bit as well. Allows air to go down, it's gonna drain faster. And the oil pan on these cars, this is under the front right side, so the passenger side. If we get under here, it's right here. And there's your nut. That is a 14 millimeter nut that we need to take out. And make sure you've got a nice big oil drain pan below it. It's gonna be about 4.5 liters, I believe. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that off and drain this guy. All right, so there it is draining. You're just gonna let that fully drain out. You can see how dark it is. Definitely in need of a replacement. Okay, once that's done draining, you're gonna take your bolt here, and you're gonna put a new crush washer on it. This is what basically helps seal the bolt and prevent leaking. So make sure you do this. Then we're gonna put it back into the drain pan and torque it down to 18 foot-pounds of torque. So if you're gonna do any sort of maintenance on vehicles, I highly recommend you get a torque wrench. This is a cheap one. There's way better ones out there. But this allows you to really control how tight you are tightening these bolts. So as I said, we wanna tighten that one to 18 foot-pounds. I can do that exactly with a torque wrench. So that's what I would recommend. So you can see the underside of that oil pan, right, has a bunch of oil that got on it naturally from when we drained it. So go ahead and clean that up, wipe it off, and then use something like this brake parts cleaner here to really get it nice and clean. Okay, so this right here is the oil filter housing. You can see right here, there's a 3/8 inch ratchet drive right here. So you can take this bottom part off and drain the excess oil. Unfortunately in this car, it was over torqued already, so I'm not gonna be able to do that. But I can take off the regular housing, and it's gonna be very dirty. And to do this, you need basically an adapter like this that can go onto your ratchet. And this fits very snugly on there, and it allows you to turn it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off and drain the oil into this pan below. You can see I got it started and it's making a mess. As I said, you could usually take this off and drain it very nicely. So this one's gonna be a bit messy, it seems like, but I'm gonna let this drip a little and then I'm gonna remove it and it'll have the filter in it. So there you have it. You can see that old dirty filter right here, this cartridge that we're gonna remove. And then you've got this O-ring, this black O-ring at the bottom there. We're also gonna take that off. Again, be real careful. Make sure you have a bucket so you can trap all the oil that's gonna come out of there. So I just got the Toyota oil filter themselves. If we open this up, you can see what's inside. I'll dump it out. So you have the filter itself, which you just saw the old one. We also have 2 sets of O-rings. So the big one's gonna go back on that guy. The little one is supposed to go on that little drain that I was showing you, but since we didn't open it, we can't change it. And this guy's little tool that you can use also if you get that drain open. And all the directions, by the way, are on the box if you do need them. But like I said, because we couldn't drain it, all we need is the oil filter and the O-ring. Okay, so we can literally just put the new oil filter in here like that. And then the O-ring, you want to lubricate beforehand. So I might get judged for this, but I'm gonna just get a tiny bit of that old oil, tiny bit on my hand, just like that. You're gonna go around this guy just to lubricate it, like I said. And then we're gonna slide over the top and you're gonna put it right down here. So we've got this guy back on there. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten it down to 18 foot-pounds as well on that guy. Some people say you can hand tighten it, which is probably fine. The heat expands the gasket and the seals pretty well, but I'm gonna tighten it just a little bit more for my basically peace of mind. So this car, 5W30 motor oil. Definitely recommend the full synthetic. Just put it in right there. This car takes 6.4 quarts of oil. So this is a 5 quart, so it's gonna be one of these plus about 1.5 quarts in total. So we're gonna go ahead and fill it up with that. So I started with putting only 6 quarts in there, give us a little leeway. We're gonna replace this cap, okay? We're gonna put this dipstick in all the way. And I'm gonna start this car. I'm gonna roll it off the blocks. I'm gonna run it for about 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna turn it off, let it sit for 5, and then we're gonna check the oil. All right, so here's me checking the oil. You can see it is very, very close to that top fill circle. So we're calling this done. And that's how you change the oil in these V6 Toyota Camrys.